Welcome to Aughrim for the second of our Bowman Platform Higher Senior Football Championship quarter-finals between St.Patrick's, Wicklow Town and Blessington. The first one went the way of Tinnehealy 9. Bit of fair to be fair, but Tinnehealy looked in a little bit of bother maybe at half time, but they really pulled through and won really well in the second half to put themselves in the hat for the semi-final. And this one, I have Podge Dooley with me here in Aughrim for the second one. Podge, this one, two big clubs, the last two winners of our senior football championship over the last 2 years. Someone's going to fall today, unfortunately, for one of these, but this is a huge game for both clubs. It's a Pat's team, I suppose, that started the year very slowly, looked in a little bit of bother, but they've really stepped up forward. You could kind of nearly say the reverse of Blessington. They started really well, 2 losses and a draw with Avondale then in their last game. It's really hard one to predict this. What Blessington team turns up. They can be very, very good some days, not so good other days. Pats seem to have got a little bit of momentum over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Very hard one to gauge.
Yeah, it surely is. I think both teams are very strong actually. Yeah, and we're talking about Blessington having a great start to the championship. Like they destroyed Bray here the first day, and that was without Kevin Quinn. They were brilliant then for the first 30 minutes against Antoker. I know they won the game by 5, but they were kind of hanging on in that one. They lost then to Arklow by 5, lost to Kiltegan and drew with Avondale. So they're going to have to pick up their fortunes a little bit. 1 or 2 changes in the team, Dan Cooney coming in and Jack Killigan coming in. It'll strengthen them a bit. Pats then the other way around, drew with their Rogue, lost to Tinnehealy by 8 points. Then they beat Glass, beat Rathnew and beat Dunlavin. And they've had a lot of changes now since the first round. Really, we're just looking at here, Shane Morley coming in, James Kavanagh coming in, John Crowe coming in and Paul Earls coming in. They're fair additions to any team, so I think if you're looking at it like that, Pat seems to be on an upward curve and Blessington maybe slightly on a downward curve, but this is a very talented Blessington team, so I've no doubt they can turn around. They can be massive scoring threats in Anthony McLaughlin, Mikey O'Connor and Kevin Quinn.
Yeah, and look, I suppose, I was talking during the week to a couple of different people, on Blessington's fortunes were saying, they need enough. One fella said to me, maybe after those first 2 wins, they done a fairly rigorous training program with the view to maybe being true. You just don't know what's going on, I suppose, in the background because, Blessington are a team that, as you said, lots of fine footballers on it. They champions from 2 years ago. You kind of thought they were going to keep on and maybe win a couple. They still could. Anyone with Kevin Juicer, with Kevin Quinn and Michael O'Connor and Anthony McLaughlin, these lads in the forwards are obviously going to be dangerous, and I suppose they're not a team that you can just see him defend again. Those lads can kick points from 30-40 yards, no problem.
Yeah, that's right. It kind of, we trying to see what way the matchups go, like who's going to take Anthony McLaughlin. Maybe Matt Trainer will take him, or James Kavanagh could. I imagine Shane Murray will probably go on Mikey O'Connor, and I'm not sure who will take Kevin Quinn. Kevin Quinn is kind of more likely to drop a little bit deeper and run at them,
Kane could probably pick him.
Yeah, he could, like that would be a good match, alright, Paddy O'Kane is a fantastic defender, really, so, like I say, like even Simon Boucher now is the one that covers ground as well, and could do a job for you on somebody, but, it'll be interesting to see what way the matchups go, and, and so who's really up for this today,
Yeah, it is indeed, and I suppose we'll just give you a quick run through the teams as we have them here. St. Pat's first, Shane Doyle in goal, Shane Murley, Matthew Trainer and James Kavanagh, Simon Boucher, Paddy O'Kane and Keane O'Brien, the half-back line, John Crowe and Dean Healy at midfield, Ronan Murray, Brian Doyle and Kieran McGettigan in the half-forward line, Jordan Pettigrew, Paul Earls and Tommy Kelly in that full forward line. Blessington line now as follows: Rob Gilligan in goal, Stephen Bowen, Colin Gallagher and Aaron Corn in the full back line, Kevin Hanlon, Paul McLaughlin and number 21 Jack Gilligan starts instead of Jack Coward in the half back line, Owen Keogh and Craig Maguire in midfield, Jordan McGarr, Dan Silk and Dan Coney in the half forward line, with Anton McLaughlin, Kevin Quinn and Mikey O'Connor in the full forward line. Both teams are just putting the finishing touches to their warm-ups here. Pitch is cut up fairly bad in a couple of places around where the warm-ups were. Unfortunately, there's no warm-up area here in Aughrim at the minute. They're just sorting that out. But again, our big match referee is Stephen Fagan. He's just in the middle of the field waiting for the teams now, and like we said, there's a big name going to fall here, joining Tinnehealy in the hat. 2 big games tomorrow, Arklow Gerrards, Ballymoney, Rogue and Rathnew Kiltegan. you know, we're getting to that time of the season, as we said, out of any of the 8 this morning, I know Bray are gone now, but out of any of the 8 this morning, you know, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see the winners of this one going on and win the championship either, Patch.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, like whoever loses this is going to be really, really disappointed. You could see the reaction from the Bray players on the final whistle. They fell to their knees and they kind of said, well, that's it, particularly any lads that aren't hurling. Like, but there's a lot of lads out here that don't want their season to finish today. And I think the lads that really want to keep going or going as a group are probably the ones that are going to come through this maybe.
Yeah, it looks like Pats are going to defend the town goal in the first half. Blessington are just in their huddle there. That is the way with Pats defending the town goal. With Blessington kicking into that town goal. So again, there's no wind really. The rain has gone away. Conditions are probably as good as they have been for the last few days to play in, and the pitch held up. You know, look at it. You can see the marks of the players from the first game, but it is holding up really, really well, to be fair.
Yeah, it is, yeah. You know, we didn't see too much slipping and sliding in the first game, which was actually good, you know. All right, the ball maybe once or twice, but it's holding well, up as well as it could, considering the conditions we're after having for the last probably 2 weeks, really.
It is indeed, and probably not much else forecast, unfortunately. It's been a summer of it, but what can you do? We have to keep going, but credit to the ground staff, as you said, they've done a great job here. Pitch is in as good a condition as it can be. And Coney has gone in for the throw into the middle of the field. Already a few numbers, a few positional switches around the field, but nothing major, nothing we weren't overly expecting.
Yeah, Paul McLaughlin out to 11, that's no big surprise really. Dan Cooney in midfield and O'Keogh gone to wing forward, no big surprise either.
Colin Gallagher has went in on Tommy Kelly straight away. There's a hand on that in midfield as Pats look to get off to a quick start here with man on the ground there. He's Ronan Murray. He was gobbled up by the Blessington defence, but if we're talking about looking up for it, Blessington look really up for this already. It's Dan Coney gets on the ball and Blessington look to just start our first attack of the game here. Solo forward as Owen Keogh at the ball, pops it off in as far as Craig Maguire turns, gets the ball out as far as Paul McLaughlin right up the field there. Blessington go through their hands, it's in the hands of Owen Keogh again. Solos has a look, he's underneath the stand just about 50 yards out, gets the ball in as far as Anton McLaughlin gets it at the second attempt. Simon Boucher is on him there. Solos red has a look, fends off his man, does really well, pops a little pass back outside, dangerous ball in. Owen Keogh finds himself in space inside, pops it off as far as Dan Coney on the run, but numbers back there from Pat's good defensive play. Mikey O'Connor pops it off to Anton McLaughlin. He'll fancy his chances, pulls the trigger, but drops this one into the arms of Shane Doyle. Doyle with a green coloured top on him, just to make sure it doesn't clash with the Blessington jerseys there. As Kieran McGinnigan on the ball deep in his own half, gets the ball to Brian Doyle. Doyle wearing 11 drops in as well, gets the ball out. As far as Keane O'Brien, good play from Pats to get the ball to the field. Matthew Trainer gets the ball to John Crow. He pops it off as far as Dean Healy. The referee has seen something way up the field. It was a good cop. Blessington are not overly arguing about it as well. It looks like Paul Earls was fouled, maybe making a run.
Yeah, by Stephen Vaughan, yeah, that's what he's after giving it for.
So that's a good spot from a long way off. He obviously was watching what was going on there. It's kicked high by Tommy Kelly. It's kicked over the bar after just 2 minutes with the first score here in the quarter final between Pats and Blessington. It's Blessington no score, St. Pat's a point.
Just some of the matchups there. Paddy O'Kane has gone to Kevin Quinn. James Cavan is on Mikey O'Connor, Shane Murley on Dan Silk. Matt Trainer has come out now on Anton McLaughlin, where it was Simon Boucher was on a few minutes ago, but he's gone on Keogh. Strong
round big and great kick out down the field, but it's attacked there by John Crow. Crow gets down over the ball, two Blessington men on his case, has to try and play it, it's right on the sideline. Play away to the referee, Kieran McGagan does really well. McGagan is found. Good play by John Crow.
Yeah, excellent.
Excellent. Overcarried very easily, John Crow.
John Crow got wrapped up by two Blessington players and he dropped the ball to the ground, like, which he had to do because he would have got done for overcarrying.
Dean Healy tries to charge forward, gets the ball to John Crow, but it's snuffed out there by Jack Gilligan, who done really well. It's taken quickly. Anton McLaughlin deep out the field. Positions mean nothing here. There's players wearing numbers and they're all over the field. It's wherever you want to go and get a kick ahead. It's Anton McLaughlin. He is 45 yards out, charging down at the town goal here. Pops a little pass off. It's a good pass to Mikey O'Connor. He kicks this one or something like O'Connor stands still. He kicks this one high and it's just gone to the right of the post and wide. Just wide in anger for the Blessington men. There seems to be a real pace to that Blessington attack when they look to go forward, Podge.
Yeah, no, that's one thing they do have, there's plenty of pace there and size as well to go up really.
High kick, Jack Gilligan takes but a break kindly for Brian Doyle balls back into the hands of Jim Kavanagh. Hand passes the ball out to Kieran McGehigan wears 12 but drops deep, gets the ball to Matthew Traynor. Traynor has a look, Shane Murley's over underneath the sand, he'll use him now. Murley takes the hand pass in, Anton McLaughlin goes to cut him off, gives the ball back to Matthew Traynor, ball up the line there into the hands of the Patsman. He quickly shovels it back though as far as Matthew Traynor. Traynor solos with this one. Gets the ball into John Crowe, gives it back to Dean Healy. Healy has a look up and spots Brian Doyle in space. Doyle 45 yards out, has a look up. Looked like he might be going to have a shot here. He did have a shot, but it's gone to the left of the post and wide. It's like everything, it was worth a try until it went wide, I suppose.
Yeah, he kind of Brian Doyle orchestrated that himself. He had Simon Boucher in front of him taking up a bit of space and told him to get the hell out of there, and eventually getting out to Brian Doyle in loads of space, and Blessington were slow closing him down.
They were indeed, they didn't push out that quick. 4.5 minutes gone, Pat's lead by a point here. On the second of our Bowman platform, higher senior football championship quarter-finals. Rob Gilligan goes long again down the field, big kick. Oh, it's well taken by Owen over there. Does really well, hand passes it into Anton McLaughlin. McLaughlin just spills it, but picked up by Craig Maguire. He gets the ball out as far as Jordan McGarr kicks the ball down the line. It's a good pass and it's into the hands of Dan Cooney. Cooney looks for that ball in for Kevin Quinn. Quinn and Paddy Kane, that's going to be a huge battle all day. It spills away from the two and it's picked up back there by Simon or by Kieran McGehigan, I think it was, but the ball breaks out. Shane Doyle has it in the way up the field, comes Jim Kavanagh with the ball, gives it to Matthew Traynor. Traynor in a little bit of space. Offloads it past to Brian Doyle. Doyle drops deep from his centre forward position. Comes down into traffic but gives it back to Matthew Traynor. Traynor looks up. Two men making runs inside. One of them is Paul there. Well done. The old head. The cuteness out in front and he won his mark really well and took his mark really well there, Podge.
Yeah, and you know what, Brian Doyle again dropping deep, like he does that an awful lot. I don't think he'd afford to leave Brian Doyle free and let him get on the ball so easy because he'll get the overlaps and get the ball into the dangerous forwards.
Oh, he kicks it high and kicks it over the bar for the man that was reportedly retired earlier in the year and playing a small bit of junior football. That's really good play from him. He took his mark, he kicked his point. It's 6 minutes gone and Pat's lead by 2.
Yeah, I tell you, I saw Paul playing with St. Patrick Junior A's and when I did see him I said he definitely can still offer something at senior football. He was so dangerous.
Rob Gilligan goes long, direct, brilliant kick down the line there to Jordan McGarr. When taken by McGarr, he turns and has a look up, pops the pass off here as far as his wing back Kevin Hanlon solos with this one. Gets the ball back into Craig Maguire. Maguire looks up again, solos, has a look and goes all across the field with this one. Into the hands of Paul McLaughlin. Paul McLaughlin wearing 6. Has a look up, he's going to go long, he does go long looking for his brother Anto. It's a huge kick inside. Oh, there's a man back inside waiting for the break, Mikey O'Connor, but just didn't get there. Referee is giving a push in the back though. Didn't seem to be much in it there from this vantage point, but there was a real chance for Mikey O'Connor. He gambled, but the ball just didn't break.
Yeah, you're right. James Kavanagh left him and went to try and win the ball, and I don't know whether it was him that gave the push in the back or not, but it was very dangerous. Like, it couldn't have been a goal for Blessington.
McLaughlin kicks this one straight over the bar from straight in front of the post. 7 minutes gone here, 2 points to 1.
Just on the Blessington kick out there, they're after kicking 2 now to the 2 wing forwards, Jordan McGarr and Owen Keogh. Like, they're serious threats on their own kick out, Blessington, plenty of big tall men that they could hit the ball to.
Quick kick out, short kick out, is just gone straight there from Shane Doyle, just broke off the hands of Simon Boucher with possession now with Kevin Quinn. Quinn gives the ball to Craig Maguire. Maguire on the 45, powerful runner, gets the ball and passes it way out to the far side of the field to Kevin Hanlon. Hanlon pops it off down to McLaughlin. McLaughlin back out to Kevin Quinn. He fancies his chance, really. No, he just solos, drops the shoulder and comes back inside. The lovely lazy style of play that Kevin Quinn has, but he finds a man in space, does really well. Gets the ball to Dan Cooney. Cooney again looks to recycle. He's looking for someone to give it to. Again, just takes the ball across the 45 and has a look up. Anton McLaughlin shown really well in the early stages of this one. Wins it free and You know, McLaughlin is all action in there in these early stages.
Yeah, you know, absolutely huge threat for them. Like that free was probably needless. The match trainer needed to just stand him up like as he had the ball, and then kind of the tackle came in like he was trying to compete for the ball when it was too late.
8 minutes on the clock, just heading for 8.5 minutes. Mikey O'Connor's a chance to level things up there. But it's a sign of intent. I think Podge, both of these teams are coming out to play football. There's no, you know, they have their systems or whatever, but they look like they're going to play good attacking football here. Mikey O'Connor keeps this one high and over the bar. It's straight and it's through. It's just about 9 minutes to go. Just about 9 minutes to go down in the match between Annacurra and Ballyman. It's 5 minutes gone. Annacurra lead 2 points to no score. So we'll try and keep you with a few updates if we can. Long kick out from Shane Doyle this time, looking for John Crow. It's gone down the field. Crow does well to keep it in. Takes on his man. Charges down the line. Dan Coney in pursuit. Good play from Crow. Pops it into Dean Healy. Healy throws Craig Maguire to one side. Gives it back out to Brian Doyle. Doyle pops it off as far as Keane O'Brien. O'Brien goes across the field to Simon Boucher. He goes outside to Shane Murley. It's direct again in, dangerous looking ball in. Paul Ernst doesn't get to this one though. Tommy Kelly throws up his hands at this side saying, why didn't you kick it to me? 9.5 minutes gone, level in Aughrim as Jack Gilligan comes out with that ball, gives it to Kevin Hanlon. Hanlon solos out just to the top of his own D, has a look out on this side of the field is Jordan McGar. McGar has a look up again, runs made inside, he opts to carry the ball down in on top of Kieran McGehigan. McGehigan turns it back, he needs support now. McGar gives the ball to Kevin Hanlon. Hanlon pops off a pass inside to Dan Coney. Coney goes out underneath the stand with a long pass home. Kyo sizes up his option 65 yards out from goal, pops a pass inside to Paul McLaughlin. McLaughlin direct into Anton McLaughlin, out in front again, does really well, twists and turns, tries to drop his shoulder, looked like a push in the back. There was a push in the back on Kevin Quinn, and again another well worked attack, and they've won a free Blessington.
Yeah, and McLaughlin has definitely started this game very well. Like, you know, he's making great runs for the ball. There was even a little tug of a jersey on there, so he could have got a free for that, but they got one eventually. But yeah, no, a good response from Blessington after a good start for Pats.
It's Anton McLaughlin here. Can he kick 3 in a row? They kick 3 in a row. It's 3 points to 2 now to Blessington. 10.5 minutes gone. They're certainly finding their way with a direct brand of football into that Pats back line, and looks like every opportunity at either end really. You know, Pats paying the price for not getting a score from their last attack. Blessington go down going there is Dean O'Brien the kicker. Ball breaks inside. Kevin Hanlon and Dean O'Brien go to ground. Dean Healy picks up the pieces. He goes to ground under a challenge from Craig Maguire. Maguire does well to take it from his grasp. Healy still in possession, tries to break through, does well. Gives the ball to John Crow. Crow tries to turn inside. Tackle looked high. Dean Healy goes to ground off the ball. Chance for a pass. Simon Boucher. Throws it up. Did he trying to throw that up and catch it? It looked like it happened. Maybe it was a control and.
Yeah. I agree. I think he lost control of the ball and regathered it, and then actually there was a bit of a tug on his arm there, and I'm not sure if he was inside the square or not, but they got the score out of it anyway.
Chance for a goal.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
3 points all. It was a well worked attack from Bats. It's 11.5 minutes gone here in a ding dong battle here between these two sides. A long kick again, a very direct kick from Rob Gilligan, clears everyone, goes to home. Kyo, they're doing really well on their own kick out. Kyo is away carrying the ball, needs support. There's 5 white jerseys around him. Hops a little pass inside to Dan Silk. He gets the ball across to Dan Coney, the number 12. He's a man outside in Jordan McGar. Long ball looking for that man Kevin Quinn. Quinn does well enough to hold up possession, and Jordan McGar is unceremoniously taken out of the game there by John Crow, and depends on what the ref deems this now. It's
yeah, it'll be interesting to see it. Kevin Quinn giving Stephen Fagan some instructions on it, or his thoughts on it.
Yeah, it's
whatever
like,
it was.
you know, as I said before, I don't like the black card, but by the letter of the law, pull down in the scoring position.
Yeah, and he agrees with you. The ref agrees.
You know, it's a black card, and it's 12.5 minutes gone. It could be 22.5 before John Crow re-enters, and that's a big blow to Pats at this stage of the game.
Yeah, gone down to 14 players is tough for 10 minutes. It's a big punishment really, but it's up to Blessington to exploit that now.
It is, but you know, you kind of think the way Blessington have started here, they're well able to exploit that.
Yeah. It's how Pats react to it really, you know.
Mikey O'Connor will take this free. Looking to put Blessington in front again here. Kicks this one high and kicks it over the bar, and a huge score again for Blessington. Every score is huge in this match. It's going to be. You get that feeling. Shane Doyle about to take the kick out again here. Look at his options, go sharp. Paddy Cahey does well again to take that in, because Anton McLaughlin and Kevin Quinn were breathing down his neck. It wouldn't be the position every back would want to be in. Kane was very calm, done really well though, gets the ball out to Matt Trainer has a look out, pops a pass into ball there, but just out of his reach. And I think the ball like that, the ball is just too far out at the minute, you know, they need to keep him in close to the goal.
Yeah, I totally agree, like, but I can't see Tommy Kelly or Jordan Pettigrew coming out looking for the ball either, like, you know, so there are three players that are probably very alike at this stage.
Something has to give, says you, something has to give. Jack Hilligan gets the ball looking for Kevin Quinn right down into the corner onto the tricolour. Two Patsmen back there, one of them is Simon Boucher, one of them is Shane Murray. Boucher gives the ball out as far as Brian Doyle. Doyle solos with this one deep in his own half, gets the ball to Paddy Kane. Kane solos, has a look at his options, pops the ball off out as far as Ronan Murray. Murray foot pass out to Keane O'Brien. Long foot pass to ball. O'Brien in the middle of his face now, carries the ball, gets his head up and has a look, pops it off to Kieran McGehigan. McGehigan tries to turn inside, has a look, gives the ball off to Matt Trainer. Trainer gives it back to Ronan Murray. Pats just keeping possession here, doing what they can. Remember, they're down to 14 for the next 8 minutes or so. It's in their possession though. Brian Doyle gives the ball to Matt Trainer. Trainer solos, has a look, 4 points to Blessington, 3 to St. Pat's. 15 minutes gone, we're halfway through the first half. In the Bowman platform, Championship Clark Senior Football Championship quarter final, Dean Healy goes bulleting forward is the only way you could say it. Wins a free, there's a pass inside to Paul Earls, back to Tommy Kelly. Kelly pulls the trigger, didn't really set himself though, but still in play. Jordan Pettigrew underneath, ball breaks down as far as Ronan Murray. Murray is the chance, Murray takes it hard. A good score for Pats under the circumstances.
Excuse me, a great score for Pats. But when Tommy Kelly kicked that ball in and we broke, there was 2 Pats players and no Blessington players there. You know, and they're the ones that are up and man. I can't understand why Blessington haven't pushed up on Pats and allowed them to just control possession.
Yeah, definitely, because it's just like Blessington switched off under that high ball completely there for a minute, you know. So
because I think it was Shane Murray was there as well. I'm not sure who the second player was, but like the 2 lads could have picked it up. And no Blessington player going for the break at all.
Rob Gilligan will take the kick out again. Blessington players make their runs up for sharp with the 4 huge men there around the middle of the kick it. Long ball looking for own cure. 2 Patsmen under Anton McLaughlin wins the break, does well, tries to break through the tackle. He's held up by Brian Doyle, it's a free. Paul McLaughlin goes along the inside looking down for Michael O'Connor, but clears everyone, and the first to react is that man Kevin Quinn. Paddy O'Kane is on his desk. Quinn, lovely turn by him, turns inside again, tries to get around Kane, does really well. Pats get numbers back, ball is popped off to Mikey O'Connor. O'Connor has a look, comes all the way across here as far as Dan Cooney. Cooney tries to get his head up and run at the Pats defence. Keane O'Brien is back where it all goes well and wins the free. That's just done enough there, Pats, and probably Blessington over elaborating a little bit.
Yeah, they did, and then they took the ball into contact and then they lost it, you know, and they need to keep it out of contact, particularly when they're a player up.
Ball is in the hands of Jim Kavanagh. Kavanagh takes a shoulder from Kevin Quinn, but still in possession, gets the ball back as far as Shane Doyle, back to Jim Kavanagh, and the Pats come away with the ball 40 yards out from their own goal. Long kick over as far as Shane Murray. Another one to come back from so-called retirement. Gives it to Paul Earls. Brian Doyle has a look up, kicks the ball across field, but it's a poor kick enough by Brian Doyle's standards. It's into the hands of Jack Gilligan. Away come Blessington up the field with the ball, looking for an attack. It's 4 points all here, 17 and a half minutes gone, 13 minutes gone between Annacurra and Ballymanus, and it's 3 points to 2 with Annacurra in the Intermediate Football Championship, so a tight trappy affair down there as well. The number 2 for Blessington, Stephen Bowen, goes forward, gives the ball into Jack Gilligan. Gilligan gives the ball out as far as Paul McLaughlin, wearing number 6, right at the sideline underneath the stand. He's about 50 yards out. Great foot pass all the way back to Stephen Bowen as Blessington look to find a hole here somewhere. They found on a man in acres of space down there is Kevin Hanlon. I couldn't actually the pillar, the press box was hiding him here as well, but he takes a mark and he's a chance here to put Blessington in front. Kick by Hanlon as high as dropping, oh it's caught right under the crossbar back there by Dean Healy. Chance gone again there for the Blessington men. It's a hand pass out as far as Kieran McGettigan. McGettigan puts the ball in his toe, away he goes, puts on the afterburners, can really cover ground. McGettigan does really well. Oh, he's still going, brilliant run by McGettigan, 65 yards out from the Herbst goal, long boot on a high ball into Tommy Gilligan. Oh, brilliant take by Kelly. Oh, brilliant save by Rob Gilligan, what a chance, but oh, what a run by McGettigan, what a take by Kelly, but it's a brilliant save as well.
You know, that's where Kieran McGettigan is so dangerous, you know, getting on the ball deep and coming out with it, like, you know, what a run from McGettigan. And then just to dump it in on top of Tommy Kelly. Tommy Kelly holds off Conal Gallagher.
Used the body so well.
Yeah, and it looked like goal all over then. Like, and we still thought after it was going by the post that was gone into the corner, but a great save, but a great chance for Pats.
Yeah, and you know, it would have been a goal with the black card on him as well.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been a huge score. 19 minutes gone here. Big chance for Tommy Kelly there to stick a goal past the Blessington men. But what a save from Rob Gilligan. He's done really well. It'll be a 45. It'll be Shane Doyle, the keeper, come up to keep this one. Normally very accurate on these, Shane Doyle. Steps up to it, drills this one, seeing to get a good connection. Didn't get a good connection. A huge kick from Shane Doyle. A brilliant score from Doyle. It's 5 points to St. Pat's, 4 points to Blessington. 19 3/4, nearly 20 minutes gone here. We have still another 3 minutes or so of John Crow in the sin bin, or whatever you want to call it. Kevin Hanlon takes the kick over, a heavy collision there with Dean Healy on Hanlon after he was committed to the tackle, but Healy seemed to be worse off. Mikey O'Connor has the ball down the danger area, turns onto that left foot, kicks it high and kicks it over the bar. 5 all, a direct answer from Blessington, direct football down the field. It's 5 all with 20 minutes, just 20 and a half minutes gone here in Aughrim. Pats will be happy enough though to say they're down to 14, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree. Pats have actually scored 3 points since they went down to 14 players, which is really good when you can do that. Like, that's Blessington's third score, but one of them was the free from the black card.
Kick out those ping there, and it's only taken by Paul McLaughlin. Actual trainer didn't retreat quick enough, so Stephen Fagan is going to move it up. And Anton McLaughlin looked like they were going to get the keeper up there, but a long distance conversation going on here at the minute, but
Yeah,
the keeper will come up.
Like, you want to be making that decision fairly quick. Like, it looked like they were going to bring up the goalkeeper, then it looked like they weren't going to tell you the truth, or winding down the time on their own back card or a black card.
Yeah, that's what I mean, you know, you've only a minute and a half left on it. It's
Yeah.
going to take that minute and a half. Going to take that minute and a half to take this kick now. More than likely, you're only going to be 1 point to the good.
I know the Pats bench are trying to get John Crow back in now, and the next play actually is what they're trying to do, is see him talking to the officials on the sideline.
Kick will be Rob Gilligan's, 21 and a half minutes. There's a minute of that carry. It's gone way to the left of the post, and that's eaten up a lot of time. As we said, so way to the left of the post and right. It's 5 points all here. That's, you would say then they're relatively unscathed.
Yeah, it looks like there'll be one more play anyway before John Crow gets back in.
Kick out is from Shane Doyle. He looks for Connor, he's out dry up underneath, tries to catch that ball, tries to get the ball, but Mikey O'Connor pinches it from long ball inside, a good ball inside, good hand on it from Jen Caddick, knocks it out, over the line. It'll be number 10, Jordan McGarry, to kick this one, takes it quick, gets it back into Mikey O'Connor. O'Connor is a look for Queen, takes the ball in, just Queen does enough to just make the second attempt at it. Queen does really well, gets the ball back to Jordan McGarry. Oh, what a creature to score outside of the goal. Brilliant score from Jordan McGarry. 6 points to 5 to Blessington here. 22 and a half minutes gone. The black card about to be reversed. 20 minutes gone in the intermediate football championship between Annacurra and Ballymanus. 5 points to Annacurra, 3 points to Ballymanus.
Come on, nice man.
Tight looking affair there. Definitely by me. The time is up by half a minute on the black card. Kick out is from Shane Doyle, huge kick down the field again, breaks Paul Aaron's again, gets hands on it, gets it to Simon Boucher. Boucher gets the ball out to Brian Doyle, takes it into contact but does enough to hold possession, needs a bit of support. That support comes, it's Jem Kavanagh, he gets the ball over as far as Ronan Murray finds Matthew Trainer on the stand side, 65 yards out from his own goal, has a look up. Dean Healy tells him to go back with it, he gives it to Dean Healy and said, go back with it yourself maybe, no, but takes it back off. Brilliant play from Matthew Trainer. Again gets the ball inside, Tommy Kelly in that danger area. Kelly tries to kick on the turn, blocked down by Jack Gilligan. Rob Gilligan puts the boot to it, but it's going to be a 45. Is it? No, it's not going to. It is a 45 up at the other end, and John Crowe resumes.
Pats are under a little bit of pressure on their own kick out. The last two kick outs have been kicked to Paul Aronson. Only Paul Tobbins come back by senior football, they'll be trying to win kick outs for Pats. Like, you know, and even the ones that are going short are kind of Blessing a lot of pressure on it as well. Where Blessing are nearly the opposite, you know, there are plenty of big men to aim at it, they're hitting the sidelines and kind of isolating players.
I definitely say when Paul took that first mark and kicked the great score, he wouldn't think he was going to spend the next 15 minutes around the middle of the field.
Well, that's right, yeah, and it's probably he had to do it when they went down to 14 players, so he might get an opportunity to go back inside now.
Shane Doyle was very good from the last 45 he took. Looks like we have a blood sub.
The Blessington players, I can't see who it is with the physio.
Definitely receiving attention. The referee, that's all.
Okay, yeah.
Referee is happy enough for him to continue. So Shane Doyle is this 45, as we said. Blessington 6 points, Pats 5 points. 25 minutes on the clock, 5 to go to half time plus injuries. Shane Doyle kicks this one, it looks good again, you know, it is good, it's high. Brilliant kicking from Shane Doyle, keeps Pats in the hunt. 6 points all here in the booming platform Irish Senior Football Championship quarter final in Aughrim.
That's very impressive kicking by Brian Doyle, because he's not actually even taking a long run up. It's like he's nearly chipping him over the bar with those to spare. Like, it's very impressive technique.
It's a big asset to any team. Long ball down the field again, breaks in the middle of the field. This time John Crowe wins it, does really well. Gets the ball out to Brian Doyle. Doyle has a look up, solos with this one. Run is made inside from Paul Aaron's. He just holds the ball up, gets it to Tommy Kelly. Kelly drops the shoulder, has a look. Solos 1 foot, then the other looks to come back around. Busy play from Kelly. Gets the ball all the way back out to Dean Healy. Healy 45 yards out. He looked to make one of those big runs when he gets the ball off to Simon Boucher. Boucher's well tackled though, gets it off to Brian Doyle. Doyle at the top of the knee. Jordan Pettigrew, sorry, at the top of the knee and the scoring goal. Brilliant kick by Pettigrew, well worked by Pats again, and you can just see John Crowe back in around the middle there. There's a little bit more of a pep in their step going forward.
Yeah, even Tommy Kelly, the ball was kicked into him that time, and he managed to find Dean Healy just outside the 45, and that's a player you don't want to leave free either, you know. So no, definitely not in that area of the field. Like, a well worked score by Pats.
Huge kick down the field again. Dean Healy goes under a Kieran Vehicle, reacts. First 4 players go to the round. Keane O'Brien picks it up, gets the ball to Matthew Trainer. Big contact, big hit. Both players just keep going. Again, possession spins on the side of Blessington and on the centre. McLaughlin 45 yards out, gets the ball into Paul McLaughlin. McLaughlin's come down the field on the raid, but Pats get numbers back, they do really well. Kick off the left foot, Paul McLaughlin finds Owen Keogh in space. Keogh can come in along the end line, there's danger here, he has a look, opposite across, it's into the back. Did he touch it? Did it go straight in? Was that a square ball?
He's allowed it, but
it looked like it went directly in. If it didn't, Dan Silk had to touch it and he looked dangerously in the square.
Yeah,
so
well, I thought it went directly in, unless it did it touch somebody else in the way, maybe.
If Owen Keogh's got the goal, it shouldn't be because it's a hand pass. So there's a lot going on there, but Stephen Fagan is happy enough that it's in the back of the net. That's a huge score at this stage of the game. Just 27 and a half minutes gone. Blessington 1-6. Pats 7 points just when it looked like Pats were starting to hit their groove. It's a big decision from the referee on a couple of front spots.
No, definitely, it's that's one you'd have to look at, and you might even be able to pick it up on the camera, really, you know, whether it took contact off somebody else or something.
Brian Doyle is back in possession here, has the ball again, he just puts up his hands, he said, someone make a run for me lads. Paddy Kane gets the ball, he's tackled by Anton McLaughlin. McLaughlin just trying to stop him at source there. Probably a bit of cuteness.
Without a shadow of a doubt, like, you know.
Don't concede a score so quick after getting the goal, you know.
It's a tactic that teams use to foul players, and like that means they have to restart the game, and that the player that's taking that free is out of the game then.
Now they've turned over the ball, so it's a win-win for Blessington. On the ball is Dan Coney, he gets it out for Danzig has the ball in his hands. Jack Gilligan, good pass from Jack Gilligan, just ran away from Colin Gallagher, does enough to get the ball out as far as Paul McLaughlin now, there's a pep in the step of these Blessington men, has a look, delivers a huge long raking kick into Anton McLaughlin. Simon Boucher's out in front, pushed in the back by Anton McLaughlin to be a free to Pats, and helter skelter a couple of minutes there, but you know, Blessington not afraid to mix it up. They're patient at times and they can go long, you know, they have that option with Anton McLaughlin in there.
Correct, yeah, and they can kick it in any way they want, like they kick it out in front of them or they can kick it in on top of them, you know, and they can do the same with Kevin Quinn, so they've loads of options.
John Crowe is on the ball in the middle of the field, takes it into contact, delivers it long. We just said Blessington weren't afraid to kick it long. Neither is John Crowe. Paul Ernst does really well, but huge battle with him and Stephen Bondo does really, really well this time. The corner right gets the ball out to Conor Gallagher. Be 1 minute of additional time according to our announcer here. It's Kevin Hanlon is on the ball. Out come Blessington again. Will they try and get another score before half time, or are they just happy to eat the time out of the clock now? They have a minute and a half to eat if that's the case. It's Dan Cooney on the ball. Solos has a look. Solos again pops a pass out here as far as own Kyo. Kyo looks up again, sizes up his options. Blessington just taking the more patient approach here now with Aaron Curran on the ball. He gets it out all the way as far as Jack Gilligan. Gilligan Solos has a look again, sizes up his options. Craig Maguire says he wants it, has a look. He's 65 yards out. Looked like he was maybe going to go along. Kevin Quinn made a run, but he's gone back in around the danger area into the hands of Dan. Jordan McGarr. McGarr takes on his man, does really well. Back comes Dean Healy. It's a good dispossession from Healy, but again it falls to Blessington, and Blessington just holding the ball at the minute. That's working really hard. Jordan Pettigrew's back there, gets the ball out to Dean Healy. Healy has John Crowe off his shoulder. Away goes Crowe, has a look up, but the jersey, the blue and black jerseys just get around him, and he has to come back with the ball, and there's huge pressure, great pressure on the man on the ball by the Blessington men. Kieran getting him under huge pressure, gets it to Paddy Kane, and that's just doing enough. It's good play from both sides. It's good pressure from Blessington, good play from Hats, and again onto McLaughlin fouls, but surely the numbers have to be ratcheting up a little bit on Anto, I'd say.
Yeah, that's the two fouls in a row, like in a
corner as well.
Yeah, you know, so and they're I won't say clever fouls or whatever, but they're definitely he's not trying to play the ball. He knows he's fouling, you know, and he's doing it intentionally, so he's got away with that one.
But momentum there, 27 minutes gone in the Intermediate Football Championship. Annacurra 7, Ballyman is 4, so Annacurra look like they're going to take the lead into half time here. As Blessington look like they're going to take the lead in or harder. It's 1-6 to Blessington, 7 points to Pats. It's John Crowe, it's high, but it's gone to the right, it goes wide. And it's a half time whistle, it sounded right on time there. A really interesting first half, Podge. 1-6 to 7 points to Blessington, a 2-point game. The goal will be the huge talking point, I suppose. From our point of view, it looked maybe like a hand pass went direct. If it didn't, did the player that touched it, was he in the square? But you know, Stephen Fagan said no at all, so that's all we can go on now. But you know, both teams want to come out and play football, want to play attacking football. It's a good game for the conditions.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Like just there about 2 minutes before half time was the first time we saw a team with sustained possession of the ball, just passing over and back without the other team putting pressure on them. That's the first time that happened in the half, you know, and after whatever 28, 29 minutes, you know, and you can see we were talking in the first game about 10 points to be a great score and 9 won it. Like we're 10 or 9-7 here now at half time in this game, you know, so definitely more open game of football. Both teams having to go at each other, not afraid to let the ball in. Probably a better game to watch anyway.
Yeah, look, the second half is probably going to be a cracking spectacle as well. We're going to take a quick break here. I hope you tune in for the second half of what's going to be a cracking game. Tinnehealy are already in the semi-finals, Blessington and Pats. It's Blessington 1-6, Pats 7 points here to see who joins them in that. Tune back in shortly.